Charnel Williams. Are you ready to spend some time with Charnel and her special guest? Join our live conversation every Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, here's your host, Charnel Williams.
Yay! Thank you for being on Let's Talk to Carissa. Did I say your name right? Because I'm bad with names. I'm just letting you know that if I call you, I'm bad with names. So thank you for coming on. I want to thank all my guests for coming in, tuning in. You want to ask Carissa a question? Just put it down in the chat and I see it. And we're just going to take it from there. So could you introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure. I'm Carissa Grant. I am a writer and creator of Worthy Chaos Comics. I started the comics about a year ago, but I started writing 3 years ago, and still don't know what I'm doing, but I have 100 issues written. I hear echoing.
I just turned it down. Sorry.
So I have over 100 issues written, but we're doing series 1. And I release every other month on Kickstarter. It's a supernatural horror adventure comic. It's kind of a romance horror. It's like Romeo and Juliet in hell kind of thing. And so right now we're releasing issue 9 on Kickstarter March 4th. And the pre-launch page is up. If anyone wants to go to it, it's on Kickstarter. All you have to do is search Worthy Chaos, and we're the only thing that pops up.
Oh, okay. So, your books. How long have you been writing? How long have you been into this type of writing?
So this particular story was about 3.5 years ago, but I started writing about 17 years ago. And I'm dyslexic, so I started very, very slow. I role played online, and I would write like one line or whatever. And it took a year. It probably took about 5 years before I could do like a chapter in one sitting. And now I do like 6,000 words in one sitting. So
now there's no stopping you, huh?
Yeah. Now I can't stop writing.
No stopping you. So who inspired you?
So I actually started writing because I played a video game, Resident Evil 2, but also a comic book, The Crow, for anyone that knows the movie The Crow. So I actually started, those two things are what inspired me the most. But I just wrote for fun. I did not ever think that it would be something that I would publish or something that I would show anybody else ever. So it wasn't until I had this whole series 1 done, which is about 45 issues, that I realized I should probably do something with it. So here I am.
Wow. So you said you wasn't going to publish it. What made you publish?
It's just when I just realized it was just too good of a story to waste. I love the characters. I love the story. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I have a co-writer. So to explain the co-writer thing, because it's a little weird for those that don't understand roleplay, but I write the story and I write all the characters except Draven. He's the second main character. My co-writer does all of Draven's speech and thoughts. So when you're reading the story, the two main characters are two different writers.
Yeah, that is kind of hard though to digest.
Yeah.
But so you always had a co-writer? Did you start off by yourself, or was it always a co-writer?
I started by myself. I wrote one of the books by myself before I found my co-writer. And then when I found my co-writer, I started over again and kind of incorporated redoing that book with that co-writer writing that character. The two main characters, so there's Seraphina, she's an angel descendant, and Draven, who's a demon descendant. So those are the two main characters. But it gives the two characters unique personalities when you're reading it. Because usually an author does everything, or even if there's a co-writer, they usually don't write specifically two different characters. So it is a little bit different, but it does help to distinguish the personalities of the two of them. So kind of helps.
So how is it? Like you said, you started off by yourself. How is it writing with a co-writer, co-author?
I actually love it. I know a lot of people I've heard when I say I have a co-writer, oh, do you argue or whatever? No, we don't really argue. We think alike, so that helps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll usually come up with an idea and then we'll kind of like just build on that idea until you have like an entire book based on this one tiny idea. Usually it's a dream. Like half the stories, dreams that we had that I was like, oh, we have to do this one. And then we'll turn this barely rememberable dream into a whole book. So dreams had a big thing to do with it.
Now, is it the type of book, the comics books that is it like, was it hard doing? Like I know you said because of the games and stuff, but it seems like I'm a writer, I'm a publisher. I never worked with nobody who does comic books. You understand what I'm saying? I never did that. I read them, but I never worked with nobody who does it. Like, take us through it. Far as writing it, far as finding your characters, like talk about it.
So originally, I had the one idea of you've never seen the show Supernatural, have you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a very inspired by Supernatural.
Okay.
And I was watching Supernatural and they were talking about an angelic weapon or something. And I don't know what made me think of it, but I got like obsessed with this angelic weapon. And that's what my story is based around, this one angelic weapon. And so it's based around that and how they have to protect it and how the main character was created from it. So the story is very supernatural. It has angels and demons and vampires and all different stuff in there. So if you like Supernatural or if you know Supernatural, you'll probably like the book. But it kind of grew from there. We started with this the girl Seraphina, who was created from the angelic weapon. Her father was an angel. Whoops, sorry. Everything just fell off my desk. But it all started with this character whose father is an angel and the mother is a Celtic goddess, and they couldn't have kids, so they used this angelic weapon to create her. And then after they created her, something happened where they need the weapon back, and unfortunately they would need to use her soul to activate it, which means she would no longer exist. And her soulmate Draven, who's a demon descendant, they've lived through each life together. And if she gets used for the weapon, they will no longer reincarnate together. She would just disappear. So obviously they're against that. So it's like a supernatural, survival, story. And that's pretty much how the story goes, is the demon father on his side and the angelic father on her side are trying to get this angelic weapon from her so that they can tip the scales of the war between heaven and hell in their favor. However, the father wants it for another reason, but he's not saying what it is yet. So you just he's using the excuse of the war to use heaven's resources to get this weapon.
Okay, so so you watch a lot of them. I call it sci-fi. Do you call them sci-fi?
Sci-fi, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you say yeah, because that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
So, do you watch a lot of that? Like, do you get your creative ideas from watching?
Yeah. Supernatural, X-Files, all of that, Silent Hill, all those, horror movies, sci-fi movies, all of that kind of always sparks some kind of idea to happen or something. But yeah, Supernatural was my favorite. We go to conventions. I just literally booked today a convention for Supernatural for Orlando in November.
So you travel with?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's important.
Yeah.
That's important. You have to travel because you have to promote your books.
Yep.
So so your characters, how do you come up with the character names?
Well, Seraphina's name is actually a trick of so a high-end most powerful angel is called a seraphim.
Venus.
So her name is kind of a play on that. So Seraphina.
Mm-hmm.
Now the main character Draven was created from, I don't know if you did see The Crow, but Eric Draven. So I took the last name of Eric Draven to use his first name. So it's an homage to The Crow. And the other I hate coming up with names, so those are the two character names. I will Google like what's an evil name or what's a a kind of mean girl name. So yeah, so that's how I came up with other names for my story.
You know what? I do that too. I watch like certain movies, and I'll be like, oh, that's a good character name. And I got to hurry up and write it down before I forget.
Right?
So
yeah.
I get a lot of my characters from movies and shows and stuff like that too.
Yeah, I hate coming up with names. I'm not a fan.
So, your book, how many have you written? How many you have published?
So I currently have printed are 10, but I have 13 made. So we're really far ahead. My artist is a machine. And he releases, he can ink pencil and ink a whole issue in a month. He's just crazy. And Jonas DaCosta is the artist. He's phenomenal. This was his first paid job as in comics. So we kind of started together, like not understanding what we were doing at all. Like no clue whatsoever, like not a clue. And when you asked me before, like, how do you write it? It is a little different than most comic book people, because I did write them as in novel form first, and then I convert them to scripts. And most people don't write them that way. They just write scripts. But I think the fact that I already wrote them in novel form is why it flows so well. Like I didn't have to worry about what they were doing or where they were going or how crazy it sounded or how much they talked. So it kind of helped that I just wrote it the way I wrote it, and now I converted it. So that helps. But yeah.
So far as your book cover, because that I see a poster back there. That's the cover of your book.
That's one of the panels. Yeah, this is this I have one in metal. This is the one.
Okay. Oh wow.
We just released this one 2 weeks ago. And I have the hardcover, which is here.
Nice.
So I have one without the plastic. Might be easier. So this one is issues 1 through 7. It's 222 pages, and I sell them on my website, which is worthychaoscomics.com, but most people just buy it on my Kickstarter. It's all in color, all glossy pages, and
so who create the illustration and the book cover, because it's a nice cover.
Yeah, so the illustrations inside are my artist Jonas DaCosta. But the cover and the back cover, which everyone loves, this artist worked for DC Comics. He worked on Batman, Superman. Superman, yeah, and he did both of them. And the colorist, I don't know if you know who Lady Death is, but Lady Death Universe, she's the interior colorist. They have a comic book on Kickstarter, and it brings in like $400,000 to $700,000. So obviously, I did not bring in that much.
Not yet.
Yeah. Here's hoping. I don't know if that's gonna happen. But yeah, so far we started a year ago. It got a pretty good. I mean, I'm still building the readers up. But my last campaign did really well. I had 150 backers, and it brought in about $5,000, and that was the most that I've had so far. So I was really surprised that it jumped that hard, because last year I did 7 Kickstarters, I think, and those were around 3,000 each, and then this one it skipped 4,000 and went to 5. So and I wasn't complaining at all. But yeah, I was happy with the 150 backer count and all that. So I freak out with every one of them, every single campaign. As soon as I hit the button, I'm like, it's not gonna
just like it's your first one.
Oh, every time.
Just like it's your first one.
Yeah. The last one did better than ever, but there was a lot of like cancellations or decreases, and I panicked every single time. Everyone was making fun of me. They're like, "It's made more than it's made before." I was like, "I know, but so I'm hoping it does well when it comes out." Currently, we have the pre-launch page has 129 followers on it. That's pretty good. Not that the followers means too much, but it makes you feel better. It's an ego booster to have the numbers on there.
It does. Yes.
Yeah. So hopefully it'll go up a little more before next Monday's next Monday's my birthday, and I should have launched then, but I wasn't smart enough.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. So I wasn't smart enough to launch on my birthday. So I'm going to launch the following week. So the Monday after next, March 4th, I'm going to launch at 6 p.m. Eastern time for whatever reason. And I don't know why. I it's just I figure people are off of work and then they can.
And that's why I do my show at 6 p.m.
Yeah,
that's why.
See, there we go. I think it's a good time. So hopefully that goes well. But yeah, I panic every time. I run it for about 24 days. I don't do the full 30 days because I don't know, less is more. And hopefully it'll go well. I already have them printed, so I ship out like the next day. So people don't have to wait long for their
Oh,
book.
that's good. So you ordered them in advance.
I did. I mostly because well, they're already made. And I don't like making people wait, so I do like to ship them out. And also it's cheaper because the more you print at once, you get a discount.
Yeah, that is true.
So I figure I might as well just do it. I used to wait until the Kickstarter end date, and then I would do like expedited shipping and printing would be like 2 to 6 days. But they changed their pricing, and now it's like almost double what it was. So I was like, not anymore. Yeah.
So many places is going up on their prices. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
The worst is groceries. I mean, I probably be able to fund this by now if it wasn't for groceries. Can we just stop eating so that I can save money for my comics? Yeah.
Sure, we'll lose weight without eating because the meat prices is skyrocket. Can't even buy a good steak no more. $30,
it's like $50, but I don't know how that's even possible. Who's got these cows? Like are they made out of gold or something? I don't know. So yeah,
but because you have a lot of coloring in your work, and I know since I'm a publisher that can be real expensive.
Yeah,
real expensive because it seems like each page is colorful. So it could be like, and you said 200 and something pages?
Just this hardcover is 222, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you got the paperback too. And do you add it on?
So I have, the hardcover is the 1 through 7, and then I have the floppies. So these are the single ones.
The singles.
So this is 10. So here's 8. So here's 9. So this will be releasing next Monday. This will be.
So let me ask you a question. So I'm calling them series because you're saying 7, 8, 9. I'm trying to get the understanding of it. So they series and you sell them separately. They're not in one book.
Okay. So series 1 is 5 books. Okay.
Okay.
Series 1 is 5 books, and each book is singles.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now, this hardcover is the 1 through 7 singles that I already sold, and then I collect them into one book.
Okay.
The next book is only 5 issues. So it'll be issues 8 through 12, and then I'll have another hardcover with those. And then book 3 is 10 issues. So you can tell that's my favorite book. So each one, and the issues, the reason why they're books is they're kind of like different environments. Like 1 through 7 is kind of like Silent Hill. They're in a town that's merging with hell, and all these monsters are coming up, zombies, hellhounds, all these things. And then in book 2, they travel from that town into this haunted asylum where they're trapped with these giant salamanders and these zombie mental patients and ghosts. So they're trying to get out of the asylum. That's their goal for book 2. And in book 3, they're in a zombie infested city that they're trying to get out of for 10 issues. And then after that, they go to an island and all that stuff. So they're all continual, but they're just kind of different environments. And that's how I separated them into books.
These is thrillers to me.
Yeah.
You're talking about zombies, ghosts, and oh my God, like they is thrillers. And let me ask you questions, comics. Do you for your comic books, are you just concentrating on comic books, or are you ready to take another route and go like just say like do what you call that? I can't think of it right now. Nonfiction book, novel.
Like
how you just have you ever thought about doing like a whole just book of a novel? Like just writing?
No, because unfortunately, I'm an amazing storyteller, but not a great writer. So it transferred so well to comics the way I wrote. I'm more simple when I write, and I and all that stuff. I don't do the whole show don't tell when you write like a novel. I tried it for when I finished the first series and I was deciding to publish it, I was first thinking a novel, and I was like, I have to rewrite this whole thing. And I tried for like an hour to do the show don't tell, and I thought I was going to break my brain. So I give you a lot of credit for writing a novel. I cannot write a novel. But fortunately for comic books, my writing goes perfect with it. It converts beautifully. And so I got really lucky there. But yeah, a lot of people have asked me, are you going to release the novels? And I was like, you don't want to read those. You don't want to read those at all.
So you're just sticking to what you know. A lot of people just stay in their lanes. A lot of people just can't branch out. You know this, and you just thinking like everything is not for everybody.
Yeah. Trust me. It's people say it's cheaper to do a novel, but I don't know. An editor was going to cost me like a couple of grand. So do you edit your own books, or do you have?
No, I have a great editor. Hi, Trish. I have a great editor. And the editor, they was trying to, I don't know what editor you found, but it ain't going to cost you no $3,000, $4,000 grand to edit no book. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, they told me that because I had my word count was 90. One was 90,000 and one was 120,000 words, and they were like, "Oh, that's like $3,000."
Really? Yeah, that's a lot. But then if you would have, the smartest way is to break them books up into series.
Yeah,
like if you got a big book like that, I was just talking to one of my authors because I just published her book, and the way you do that to save money, if you break them up, if you got a $50,000 or $100,000 word count, slice it.
That was.
You understand what I'm saying? Oh, it was.
Yeah. I've already passed. Like I think it was like 6 months ago. I passed the 1 million word mark. Like that was like
that's a long write. That's a long time. Writing.
Yeah.
Yes,
so,
that's
because I already have the 5 books for this series, the 5 books for series 2, and I'm in the middle of series 3, book 2, and then I have a book 1 prequel. So I have a lot. I have 12 books completed, and they're all between. I think 2 are shorter. 2 are like 50,000 to 60,000, but the rest are 90 to 120,000. So yeah, that was split. That's how I split it. But yeah, it's a lot of writing.
That's a lot of writing. Yeah, you stick what you going to stick to what you know. Comic books.
Stay in my lane.
Stay in your lane.
Comics. Yeah. That'll be best. But yeah, I mean, and it's funny because my comics, a lot of people that don't normally read comics started reading them because I run my own business, and I talk to my clients all the time. And I kept talking about this comic nonstop before I wrote it, before I printed it. So they all wanted it. So I have a couple of my clients that are like, I never ever read comics before, but now like I really love your story. So wow. I think it helped that I have a lot of people that didn't read comics read it. So it's kind of like a novel comic movie, like the way my artist draws it out. It's kind of like a movie. There's a lot of action, you know, there's a lot of movement to it. And we have a lot of like thought balloons, you know, because when you read a novel, the whole point is to get inside the person's head, you know.
Right.
So I had to make sure that I had thought balloons, because in my story they think way more than they talk, like the opposite of me. So it helps to have that. So I think a lot of people liked it. If you like to read novels, it's kind of like a picture novel, so it kind of helps.
Yeah, picture novel. So excuse me, your books, are your characters, I'm sure in different parts, different series, I'm gonna call them series, you have different characters,
right?
Or do it just long going to like a real series book? You understand what I'm saying? Do the characters stay the same, but you said in a different atmosphere, or do it just change?
The characters all stay the same. We add 2 more in book 3, and they kind of stick around for all of book 3 and half of book 4, and then they come back later on. So after those 2, that's pretty much the new characters. Then you have like a couple of villains come in and out, you know, but the main characters we stick to. We have the 2 main, Seraphina and Draven, and then we have another man and woman that they run into in the zombie infested city, mostly to get my male character jealous. It was more fun that way. And then we have, I don't know if you know who Anubis is, the Egyptian god of the underworld or the dead or whatever, but he also is there as a character.
So have you ever killed the character?
No, I love my characters.
You ain't never,
if you watch Supernatural,
you ain't never write one of your characters off.
Yeah. Well, no, never. I temporarily like Supernatural. Like they have like 1 or 2 deaths, you know.
Yeah.
Like Supernatural has like 1,000 deaths. But no, I have never completely killed off my mains. But I kill off. I don't even kill off a villain until like, I don't know, book 10.
Now, do you think? Because I know you got to put a lot of brain into this. Do you think about who you going to kill off, which villain should die, or who you going to keep?
Yeah, so we kill a couple of minor characters. We actually just talked about it yesterday. I was like, we're working on book 12, and I was like, this guy's really a jerk, so I want Draven to be able to kill him. So, and then there was an ex that's torturing Seraphina, so she's gonna kill that one. So yeah, once in a while we'll kill off characters here and there. But
do you think about the characters, or do you feel sad once they gone?
Sometimes I do. Like when we killed off our main for like, you know, to bring, even though we knew we were bringing him back, it was still like this whole emotional thing that the character died. And the character is like, you know, doesn't know it's coming back. So that actually made us all upset trying to write this emotional scene and you know how he thinks she's gone for good and all this stuff. And yeah, you get emotional for the 2 main characters, but they're gonna live either forever or you know, die and come back or whatever. So yeah, it's very Supernatural-esque. We're kind of obsessed with our characters. So
wow, that's what I was about to ask you. Do any of them keep you up at night thinking about every day? This person going to do this now? What should she do? What should he do?
Oh, you have no idea. So I generally sleep about 5 hours a night. So if I'm lucky, so I sleep between 10 p.m. and usually 2, sometimes 3 if I'm lucky. If I'm really lucky, it's 4 a.m. So that's when you should play the lottery. But then I'm up like for the rest of it. But I've actually I've fought with my characters while writing. Well, the main character. I was doing a scene once in like book 5 or book 4, and I was writing it, and I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, I need to stop and start over. It's not going anywhere. And the character's like, no, keep writing. And I was like, this does not make any sense. I don't know what you're writing. I don't know what I'm writing. But I kept writing, and when I was done, it actually wound up being a really cool scene. And I sent it to my co-writer, and I said, here you go. And she goes like, where the hell did you come up with that? I was like, no idea. And they're like, I can't wait to see what happens. Like me neither. Like I can't. Like me too. So yeah, I have no idea where that came from. It was a really weird scene. So for all I know, my character's another personality I don't know is there and just was writing the book. I'm just a vessel for my personality to write this book. So
do you like when Halloween comes, do you try to dress up as one of your characters in your book?
I haven't yet. But I might have to. I have been told I should dress up like her for the conventions, but I haven't done that yet. But I might. You never know, get more attention that way, right?
Just so you go to a lot of them. I never been like no what you call them, Cosmos events?
Comic Cons,
yes,
comic conventions. Yeah. So I did like 10 last year, and I hate them. I hate them.
You don't like them?
No, I like going to them and like being a guest, like walking around. But having a table, I hated it. I do like the smaller one. Yeah, I hated it. It's too loud. You're stuck behind the table. I want to go see the actors.
Walk around.
Yeah. But I did like Nashville Con. And so I like the smaller, medium, local ones. So I'm doing Nashville this year. June 1st and 2nd, I'll be doing Nashville at the Nashville, Tennessee Fairgrounds. And I really liked that one last year. I was able to talk to people. It wasn't too loud. It wasn't too crowded. It was really nice. So yeah, I'll do 1 or 2 a year and that's it. But if there's a vacation I want to go on, I just do it during a Comic-Con. It's tax deductible.
I know that's right.
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yes. Far as going to these events and having a table, you said is boring. Why do you go? I understand you selling your books and stuff like that, and promoting your stuff. But I think you should go to one and dress like a character.
That's what I'm gonna have to do this year.
Yeah, dress like a character and.
Yeah, this year I'm gonna do that for sure. I hadn't thought of it last year, and I didn't know I hated them. And you have to order them like months in advance. So I already paid for all 10 before I had done one. And then I was like, I hate this with a passion. Fortunately, I like the Nashville one. I wound up selling one of the tables because I did not want to do it. Alabama. I did not want to go to Alabama. It was far, and I heard it was super busy, and I was like, that's the opposite of what I want. So yeah. So the whole point was to sell the comics, but I'm just gonna stick to Kickstarter and hope that goes well. That's the plan.
Now tell us a little bit I heard about Kickstarter, but I really don't know what it is. Tell us a little bit about what is Kickstarter.
So Kickstarter.com is I didn't even know that it was used for comic books or novels or whatever. I had thought it was like a GoFundMe thing, and I didn't know what it was. But yeah, it's actually very popular for comic books or novels. What you do is it doesn't cost you anything. So if there's a book that you want, you should try it. It doesn't hurt. What you do is you put your stuff on there, and then you send the link to people, and then they can go and pledge, and you can have add-ons and all that fun stuff. I can show you if you want.
Yes.
All right, hold on. Let me show you real quick. And you can get to see. You can put a video up there if you want. So I'm going to show you. Let me see here. Okay, so present.
So is it like a like Facebook or Instagram, something like that? Or no?
It's okay. If you share the little thing down there.
I'm saying. You want to put it up on the screen?
Yeah, you can put it on the screen. I'll share. So this is what a Kickstarter looks like. And this one's not up yet. It's not live yet. But you could see like you'll have a goal. And you'll have a video. I could show the video, but it's kind of long. So you could do the video, and then you can scroll down, and you can do, you talk about, what your story is, and then you could show like these are my covers.
Oh, nice.
So I show people my covers, and then I show them like here are the pages, so they can get an idea of what's inside. They can read a little bit of it, and then you have like tiers. So I don't have tiers on this one. I'll show you another one. So this is my last one that already ended. So here are the tiers. And I did win. This is a certificate for the favorite comic and the best writer. I'm not the best writer, but I won that one. So here you have the covers. Again, this is my last one. There's the zombie one. That was a popular one. We show the internal pages, but then you have like tiers. So here are different tiers you can pledge on. So if you want to like the PDF of it, you just pay $5 and you get the PDF sent to you.
So explain to us what is tiers. What do tiers mean?
Okay. So the whole point of pledging is there's different levels that you can pledge. So a lot of people start off at $5 and you can go up to, I think mine goes up to like 300. And you can pick whichever one you want. So each one here tells you what it costs and what a tier is. So here is, and some people just wanted a plushie that I have. So this is a plushie for $29. It tells you what it comes with. So this comes with a sticker and the plushie. And then, oops, I skipped too far. So then you go down here. This is a PDF tier for issue 1. So if someone just wants to buy issue 1, they just pay $5. And then they can do that. So, and then it goes different things. So here's printed. You get a printed copy for $10. And then they just pledge their money to it. This is the tier. If you wanted all of the PDFs, it's 1 through 8. That was $20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like pricing, and they just purchase it and you send it out to them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like a store, but there's only a limited amount of time to do it. You can back out of it before it ends, which is very frustrating for us to have that happen, but it does happen. But I'm big on merch. So like here I have a Lego Anubis. I have bookmarks. I'm famous for, I've been called the merch queen. So here's my hardcover. But I'm big on, like, everyone makes fun of me. I have statues. I'll show you my little plushie. So I have these little plushies, the skeleton bird, and there's the hellhound, a giant salamander. There's the zombie mental patient that you could put your birthday on the back as a patient, or somebody that's crazy, drives you crazy, you could put their birthday on the back. So a lot of people go to Kickstarter.com and then they can pledge whichever one they want. And then there's add-ons. Like I have a coloring book, I have stickers, I have pins, I have the extra hardcovers or coins, and metal cards are very popular. So so people get to do all that, and then they could see like different stuff that you have. So it's kind of like a store. Now I have more than most. I have 30 levels. So it takes a while to go through them, but the average is about 10. But let's say you wanted to put your book on Kickstarter, right? So you put your book on Kickstarter, you put some art for the cover. You could say how many pages there are. You can have tiers, like if you want to get a t-shirt with it, or you can get stickers or posters or cards or whatever you want. And then they can, pledge how much they want. And then at the end of it, it's like you could do anywhere between 1 to 60 days. And I wish I could do 1 day. It would be great. But 1 through 60 days, the average is 30. I do 24. But then once it ends, you get your money. And Kickstarter takes like 10%, but it doesn't cost you anything. So if you didn't make any money, you don't get anything. You don't pay anything. Now, the tricky part is you have to put a funding goal. I don't know why people I do know why. So you could pick any funding goal you want. I was going to say, I don't know why people put it so high, but technically people put it higher because sometimes the comic's not done. Like if it costs $6,000 to do a comic, they'll make the funding goal $6,000. If you don't reach that funding goal, you don't get any of the money. Like if you made 5,000, you lost it all. So I do 1,000. Wow. Yeah. So I do low. I do 1,000.
So what happened to the money? Do it go back to the people who purchased?
Yeah. It doesn't take the money out. It doesn't take the money out until it ends. So yeah, it just doesn't take the money out. So I would keep the
Wow.
goal low, like low. When I first started, I think my original goal was 500, and I, so I got it. Now I do about 1,000, because mine are already made, and I'm gonna sell
Yeah.
it either way.
Ooh, crispy.
Sorry, yeah, yawn.
That made me yawn.
I said that I usually get 5 hours of sleep. Last night I got like an hour and a half, so I'm even more. I don't know why. I went to bed at like 10:30. I think I woke up at like 1. So I got like 2. Is that 2 hours? I can't do math right now. It's like 2.5 hours. I got 2.5 hours, and then I worked. So yeah, I was exhausted. Before I came on here, I fell asleep on the couch, so I had my alarm all set up.
Is you Eastern time?
Yeah, I'm Eastern time.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah, I'm in
Yeah.
Tennessee. I don't know what state you're in.
Okay. Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to be in New York and Connecticut. I love those. So I moved south, which was a complete culture shock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it because I don't like snow. I like snow when I don't have to leave my house. That's when I like snow.
I don't like snow at all. We
Yeah,
just had a major snowstorm.
Well,
and it still got snow. Snow's still out there.
Well, what happened is I'm in Tennessee, which I've been here for 10 years, and I've never had more than half an inch of snow. 10 inches 3 weeks ago. I got 10 inches, and I could not leave my house for 12 days because they don't know how to handle it in Tennessee.
Yeah, they don't.
In Connecticut and New York, they had a plow 24/7.
Yeah.
We had a plow the 5th day, and it did nothing. Nothing, no salt, no sand. So there's a reason why it's cheaper to live in the South. You might not survive the whole winter. They used to talk about, I used to hear about the 6 inches of 93, the 6-inch blizzard of 93. And I was like, you guys, that's a flurry in New York. You're like, what are you talking about? Now
So
it's 10 inches.
So when it's flurry there, do they shut the whole city down, the whole state down?
Oh yeah. They all shut down. There's cars on the side of the highway, like side of the road. Like there's like a half an inch of snow, and there's like nothing. When we first moved here, there was a first storm was like, I don't know, a little more than half an inch, and we were just driving around because New York.
Yeah, used to it. Yeah, used to it.
And there was nobody. There's nobody. The only thing that was open this blizzard, and I still crack up about it, was the Mexican restaurant. That was it. He said they were busy every single day with people with trucks. That could get through the blizzard. She goes, this is the busiest we've ever been. That we were the only ones open. So yeah, people with trucks just lining up for the dozen. It was crazy. Yeah. Did you get a storm?
We got a storm. We got like a week, 2 weeks ago. We got, I think, probably like 6 inches, 8 inches.
Yeah.
They closed the schools down. Then they said, I think it was a little over a foot this time. Last time.
Wow.
Yeah, so we got it. We got it. They closed the schools down. Then they had like delays for the next day, the following days and stuff. So we in the Pennsylvania get a lot of snow. We're in the mountains.
Yeah,
and they get a lot of snow.
Pennsylvania does get a lot of snow.
Yes, just like upstate New York.
I was from Long Island, and but the most we ever had was. It was like a freak snowstorm in Connecticut, and it was 4 feet. We got 4 feet in Connecticut, and I was trapped. I was pet sitting at the time at some new person's house. I couldn't get out for 5 days. Yeah, it was awful. Nobody knew what to do. So that's how it felt here with 10 inches. So 10 inches here equals 4 feet in Connecticut. So it's a little different. This place, if there was 4 feet here in Tennessee, everyone would starve to death. There is no way anyone would survive at all. No way. They would all be like dead inside their houses. So
since y'all don't really get that much snow, how is the weather down here in the wintertime?
So it varies. Like that was the coldest. It was 0 degrees, and then 5 days later it was 60. So yeah, that was the only reason it got melted, because it was 60 degrees
and the sun was shining.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, and the sun was shining.
Yeah, if we didn't have 60-degree letters, I'd still be like not working. But yeah, it fluctuates. I mean, sometimes I think today was really nice. I think it was like $60, I want to say. It was really nice. I could wear short sleeves.
Mm.
But then the next day it'll be 20 degrees. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got to dress according to the weather.
It's
So
yeah.
So your books, have you ever thought about like turning your books into like a movie or
I would like to have an adult animated series. That's what I would want. Like a rated R animated series for violence. It's too long to do live action. I think that people would be too old by the end of it to do it.
Yeah.
But also actors leave, and I don't know. I just feel like it's coming from a comic book. It would be a great animated series. I would also love to have a survival horror game created from it.
Okay.
But those things cost like what $200,000 to make, so it won't be anytime soon.
Yeah.
But who knows if it got popular enough? Maybe. We'll see. But the main goal, if I was able to choose it, would be an animated series. But I wouldn't sell it. It would have to be something that I did or worked on. Because I've seen what Netflix and Prime do to their damn shows, so that's not going to happen in my story. But I'll stick to mine. I don't want it to have like this alternate ending where I don't know what's going on. I've never, like, every time I hear somebody sold their story, they hated it. They changed the character.
So they change it,
they change it. And I was like, so let me get this straight. You bought it because it was popular, so you can change it. So no.
I talked to a lot of people about that. You got to make sure you put in a contract. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't put what you want and what you entitled to in that contract, they're going to do whatever they want to do to you.
Yeah, see, that's the tricky thing with Netflix, because Netflix will only buy your story. They don't like license it. They only buy it. Which means you don't get any money after they buy it, and then you lose all your rights to it. So we're not going to do that. I'd rather have nothing than have them like torture my poor character.
Right. And kill your main character as soon as come on.
Did you ever watch The Walking Dead? I mean, they killed off like characters that were alive in the comics for the whole time, and they just I think they killed off 2, 3, 4. They killed off 4 well, one wanted to leave the show, so it doesn't count. But they killed off 3 main characters that lived the entire series, and they killed them off early. Like, I don't know why. So
they changed. So your book, you said you have another one coming out next week. You said
not this Monday, the Monday after, March 4th. It'll be issue 9, but it'll have all the back issues too. So you can get the hardcover for $40, which is really cheap for hardcover with 222 pages. You can get the new issue 9. You can get issue 1. You can get anything you want from the past, or you could just get issue 1, or you could just get the hardcover. So it's very flexible on what people can get. So if anyone wants to go check it out, all you have to do is go to Kickstarter and search Worthy Chaos. And right now it's in pre-launch. Just click the notify button, and then it'll tell you as soon as it goes live on March 4th, it'll send you an email and a link to go straight to back it. So that'll help.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Probably still doing the same damn thing. I was just like calculating like how long it would take to do this series, and I was like, well, if I could only release 7 a year, there's 100 issues. I'll be doing this for the next 20 years. So exactly here, I'll probably be back on the show, still doing the same damn thing.
But the point is that you love what you do. You have to love what you do.
Oh, there is no way to do this without loving it, because I have not made any money off of it yet. I've spent thousands on it just to see my story come to life. And like I said, I'm already on issue. I paid today, literally today, for all of issue 13. It's already inked and halfway through colored. And I don't know if it's going to sell, but I wanted it. So now it's done. And as long as my house still stands, I'll still be buying them. It'll be a different story if the house isn't paid for. But for now, I'm still gonna make them.
So you publish your own work. You don't go through no publishing agency or company or nothing.
So I tried to go through a publisher when I first started, and 3 of them would not read my proposal because the first thing I said was it's 45 issues for the series. And they said, we won't do any series or accept any series that's over 3 issues. So I said, I'll just do it myself then. And they said, you'll never get them all published. So when I publish all 45, I'm going to send them a note and be like, you were wrong. But yeah, they said nobody will keep reading it. So we're hoping that they're wrong. And we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to hope it keeps going. That's the goal, right?
Yeah, yes, that's the goal. You got to just, they say when someone say no, you say yes. You just keep on going, keep on. Right. They don't know how they know how you going to turn out, how your book's going to turn out. They don't, like people kills me when they say, far as collaborating and doing anthologies and stuff, they be like, I can make you the best-selling author. How you know that? You understand what I'm saying? Like, how you know I can be a best-selling author?
Yeah.
If I come your way, So it's just that people don't. Yeah, people they don't know. They can assume. They can hope.
Yeah.
They can hope.
I've seen books that I am shocked do not do as well as mine. They're people that have been doing it for 7 years. They've worked in the comic industry. They have dragons. They have topless girls. I mean, it's just really weird that these don't make more. And so it really just, you just have to get in front of the right audience. You have to get your story seen. And that's why I appreciate coming on shows like yours so that I can tell my story and hopefully somebody sees it and hopefully wants to back it. And that's the goal, is to get readers. That's what you want.
Yeah. Right. That's right. That's what you want. So I want to thank you again for coming on my show, but let everybody know if they want to reach out, give them your website, all your social media sites, give it to them.
So you can contact me anywhere on Worthy Chaos. We have a Facebook group, a business page. You can also contact me on Facebook, Carissa Grant. But we have a website, worthychaoscomics.com. You can get the hardcover off of there, or any of the stories in PDF form. Also on Kickstarter, you can find us, of course, Worthy Chaos. Just search for us. And I'm on Twitter, X. I have 5.3. It's like a porn site. I'm on X. But I have 5.3 thousand followers on there. And I mostly the same 20 people see my stuff. But yeah, we're on there and we post a lot of stuff on there, but mostly Facebook's working for me so far. Kickstarter is the way to go. So you should definitely try Kickstarter. I'm telling you, let me know. I'll help you.
I'm gonna try it out, but let me ask you a question. Why don't you just give your own? You ever thought about giving your own event, having an event and doing it yourself?
I have thought of that. Venue? I might eventually do that. But so far, I'm lazy. So far, this is way easier for me. I do a lot of podcasts. I did 155 podcasts last year. Wow. But I've run out of some. So I'm glad I found yours because I can't find more podcasts. But yeah, I'm trying to get on podcasts and get people to see me and just because I do one Kickstarter does good, you have no idea what the next Kickstarter is going to do. I've had some people make 12,000 the first one, and then the next one they make 1,000. I was like, "What happened to your story?" So nobody knows what's going to happen.
Right.
I just got to hold my breath and hope I don't pass out before I make some money on it. So, but I just want people to. I don't really care about profit. I just want it to cover itself. If it can pay for the artist, then all is good. I pay him a couple of $1,000 a month, and then, like you said, there's the colorist, and then there's the letterer. And the covers are expensive. So yeah, everything's so super expensive. So if I could just cover my cost and keep making them, I'm happy. That's all I need.
Yeah. And that's why I say have your own event, rent out some tables to people and make a little and have your own table, make a couple of dollars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have that's to do how that. I start off. I be doing that. Really? I have my own events and stuff. Like book fairs. I do women empowerment. I do it all, and I rent out tables to vendors. And sometimes you can't sit at everybody's table. You got to make your own table. You understand what I'm saying?
You know what? So, you call me when you're ready to do the Kickstarters, and I'm going to call you when I'm ready for my event, and we can swap knowledge.
Right. See, and that's what I like. One hand's watching another. You got to help. You know, you got to give to get. You understand what I'm saying? Absolutely. You can't, because some people in business, they just don't want to. Like, you ask questions, they don't want to let you know. Yeah, like competition. Yeah, no, we just want to know things. We just want to know how to do things, just like how you did it. That's why I share everything. That's why I'm having this podcast. You know, so you can tell your story and share. Because once you dead and gone, you can't take all that information with you. That's right. What you got?
I like to support a lot of indie creators. I think it's we got to help each other out because nobody else is going to help us.
Right. Ain't nobody going to help. That's right. That's amen to that. But I want to thank you again for being a guest on my show. Come back with your because I learned a lot from you because I wasn't even into this for real. And I just learned, I learned a lot, you know?
Yeah.
So,
well, maybe I'll try to come back in October for my 2-year anniversary in comics. So,
yes, come back. And, just get them your website and stuff again one more time.
Okay. My website is worthychaoscomics.com. And also, if you want a direct link to Kickstarter, it's theworthychaos.com. So there's 2 of them. But that's why I always say search Worthy Chaos because there's too much to think about. But follow me on there because I release an issue every other month. I ship out the next day because my Kickstarter is in 4 weeks after I close. So you need your issues to keep going. And so thanks again for having me on. I really appreciate it.
And thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Get some sleep.
I'm going right now to get some sleep.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye. Bye. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to thank everyone for being on Let's Talk To podcast. And who my guest tomorrow? I don't even know who my guest tomorrow. But I just want to thank you again for tuning in. And please continue on supporting Let's Talk To podcast. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk To podcast with author Sharnelle Williams. Tune in next time every Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget to live, laugh, and love.